Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You are listening to Al Mubarak Radio with myself, Mr. Al Mubarak, and today we have a very, very special show, especially for our community here in the Batley town. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept everybody who is listening. And also, please do give us a little WhatsApp message as well if you have just tuned in as well. It's just a slight 5 minutes late than scheduled. But that's Asian time. I'm sure you're all used to that as well. Right. Okay. Bismillah. And also today, Mount Cricket Club are, mashallah, back. And I'm sure if you are following them on the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., then you will know exactly what they have been up to in the last couple of weeks. And alhamdulillah, it gives me great pleasure that the whole team and also the sponsors, etc., are here with us in the studio today. And inshallah, we'll be talking to them, inshallah, regarding their trip to the Vatican. The Vatican trip, which took place a couple of weeks ago in Rome. And alhamdulillah, I have to also mention here, with also Mount Cricket Club, there were also PKWA, Brother Muhammad Maqsood, he is also awaiting to come on, and also Brother Fayaz, mashallah, who also traveled. There were also dignitaries who traveled on this trip from our local areas, which also included Dr. Rajpura. It also included Mr. Solly Adam himself as well. I'm sure people who are familiar with the cricket will know Mr. Solly Adams' involvement in the game and also his playing career as well. So inshallah, I don't know if they will be coming on, but inshallah, if they do arrive, they will also be inshallah on. We also have here the team player and also mashallah, who is also the media manager for the journey as well, Mr. Abdul Bayrawat as well from our Batley areas. So firstly, let's welcome Brother Abdul Bayrawat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you? And I hope you're all well, coming back from the beautiful city of Rome.
Yes, alhamdulillah. As we say, when we were in Rome, we did what the Romans did.
Is it? And what exactly did the Romans do?
They went against us.
So let's go back. Alhamdulillah, this whole Vatican, for all the people who've not been following and they don't know how it all came about.
Yeah.
Then if you can just put a little light to the journey, how it all came about, and how did Mount Cricket Club end up at the Vatican. And I just want to mention here for people, Vatican. The Vatican is where the Pope is, and it's not just a place where anybody can visit. So, I mean, this is why I'd like you to just briefly let the listeners know that exactly, how did Mount Cricket Club end up there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a hard story to believe, when you analyze it from where we are now. But it all came about from our development officer, Muhammad Sadiq Patel. He had this crazy idea that we should actually, a Muslim team, really predominantly Muslim team, should go and make friendship and play cricket with the Catholic faith in a place like the Vatican. That sounds really crazy, but let's go back a bit. The Vatican team has been in existence for the last 2-3 years, and it was developed by the Australian ambassador to the Holy See, who obviously saw the potential of cricket, particularly looking at the makeup of the Vatican team. They're all seminarians, trainee priests, and they are basically from the very much the Indian subcontinent. So when we played the team, there were people from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Australia. And in the college that we went to, there was 22 nationalities that were present there. So in last year, the Vatican team actually came and played the Archbishop's team. And I think that's where Muhammad Bai Sadiq's original idea came about. So as a result of looking at this, he sort of like quietly spoke to us all about it and said, I'm arranging a tour for Mount to go to the Vatican. And we sort of looked at each other and thought, is this guy for real? It is very hard fetched when you think about it like that. But actually, he had his contacts, so he approached the British ambassador initially to the whole of Italy. But then we realized that actually, UK sends a British ambassador just for the Vatican area, because the Vatican in international law is a country in its own right, which many people didn't know that. So we were then introduced to none other than the ambassador, Nigel Baker. He then put us into touch with some key contacts within the Vatican team, Father McCarthy, Father Higgins, and the Australian ambassador. And through his dialogues, through his councils, and through his discussions, it became very apparent that this was going to be a reality. So at that stage, obviously, we as a club took the project on and decided to consider, how we're going to logistically manage that. And then we actually needed some outside assistance. So obviously, Brother Sadiq again then was speaking to the likes of Yorkshire County Cricket Club. He was speaking to English Cricket Board. And over a period of weeks and months, the itinerary was being developed, and we were all going to Rome. It sounds really far-fetched, but the planning took some months, and he's a persistent fellow, and one that doesn't give up easily. And even then, even when we thought it isn't going to happen, he had the vision. And really, I think we sometimes get lost in all the razzmatazz about going there. But let's be clear about the humble principle approach here. The humble principle approach here is that we took a game of cricket, and through the medium of cricket, we went there to build bridges with another faith, because I think that was very important for us to do. And we tracked the Vatican's team, so they embraced the fact that we were going there very, very warmly. I mean, the game we played was just one of 6 games that they played throughout their season, and they won 5 of them, including with ourselves. So they're starting to sort of get a lot more competition. But I think the media in particular picked the whole notion that the Muslim faith and the Catholic faith were coming together very significantly. And I'd like to actually thank the journalists. I've done this before, but I think it's worth reiterating again for your viewers, in the sense, where else are you going to get a situation in today's world that a humble club like Mount Cricket Club from a town like Batley makes history at the Vatican in the way it has done through the simple medium of cricket. So, his vision, we were simply there to execute and plan to the T.
Right. So, mashallah, that's a very good intro of the whole journey as well. And your role in itself, you are the media manager. So I'm sure you were dealing with a lot of press there, and obviously handling all the announcements, etc., whatever was happening, because you did get a lot of media coverage whilst you, and it was worldwide news. I mean, like you said, that it's for to be put together by Mr. Sadiq Patel. It was like you was thinking at one point absolutely crazy, but when you were there, you seen all the media there. I mean, come on, you don't get that every single day. And how was it as yourself, being in charge of that, handling all this pressure?
Well, you're flattering me now.
Yeah.
But the reality was that the Vatican, prior to all the matches that they were going to play, actually had a press conference, and in it gave details about all the games that we were playing. So I think the first trigger to this international interest was the fact that most of the press who covered that story picked up on the issue that Mount were playing the Vatican team, St. Peter's team. I think what helped us also here locally is that our sort of strategic partners, particularly the English Cricket Board, Yorkshire County Cricket Club, they picked this story, and they were there with us, in present. Some of the key people from those organizations were there with us in the room, promoting what we were doing side by side. And obviously it helped in the sense that they we were there as But I mean, I had a sneak preview that this would trigger, the journalist plea. But to give you a context to your listeners in terms of what happened on the day of the match, when we arrived at the ground, we were greeted by TV crews and film crews, basically recording everything we're doing. all through that day, there was a whole series of press, ICC stumped program, BBC World Service, Sky, French journalists, crew. So it was a high profile event. And you start to sort of think, hang on a second, what is going on here? So one of the things that we did do prior to going there, when I realized that some of this could go global, is that we basically issued a press release, and we sent that out as wide and as far as we could. And the day was very, very interesting because, as people have read, with the players, there was a party of 33 that attended, and within that party there was daughters, there were wives, which actually enriched the whole experience, because what that did and what that got reinforced through the media was that interaction between the two faiths, and that interaction was one-to-one and sincere and filled with humanity. That was very important for us to become ambassadors of our faith in our town and Yorkshire going there. And that was picked up, through many of the points that a lot of the dignitaries made in speeches on the day and since then. As soon as that happened and the media world, started to report on that, it just mushroomed and it blew considerably, to the point where we were getting requests from radio whilst we were in Rome. I mean, we had to do a radio show from Rome airport, so that's how visible it was. And as soon as we got here, my phone was just blowing. It was just like people wanting to get in touch with us left, right, and center. So whilst everybody was sleeping that first night when we came back, I had to do a press release to basically then communicate what we did and what was the impact felt by so many people as a result of that. And it's really pleasing to see that a lot of the journalists that have picked up this story, and you got to remember where it's been picked up. It's been picked up in the sporting press, it's been picked up in the faith press, and it's been picked up internationally as far wide as Barbados, South Africa, Malaysia, India. So it's a simple story at its roots, but it's actually brought to bear a lot of issues in today's world that, through something simple as cricket, communities, even in the most conflicting parts of the world, can come together. So to me, the message is that the fact that we won or lost at the event is irrelevant. What we've achieved is a piece of history, and shown that the relationship and the warmth that we have with each other is a bond, that lasts forever. And obviously, we know that they're coming again next year, and we'll have the opportunity to meet our friends again. But the precedent has been set.
Right, that's absolutely excellent. So that's Brother Abdul Bayrawat, who is part of the team and also the media manager as well. Let's bring in also the team captain who went to the Vatican, and also Mr. Junaid Dilay. Mr. Junaid Dilay is also here, the captain for the journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm sure you're not shy of the media now.
No,
You've
I'm
had
not.
enough media coverage now, so I bet you are more confident than even myself now to come on air and talk about this beautiful journey. And personally, for yourself, firstly, your personal experience and your personal feeling, has it really sunk in yet that all this happened over the couple of weeks ago?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Mount Cricket Club, the secretary, the chairman, and everybody. They gave me a huge opportunity to captain the team, because I'm just like a normal player in the team.
Yeah.
The captain of the first team is Riaz Ben Madala, but somehow I got picked. I'm still wondering how, but I'd like to thank management once again. Yes, it was a kind of good experience for me.
Right. So your experience, and how was it as you are the team captain? Okay. I mean, when you went out there, come on, you're in Rome. Okay, you're not in Batley at your home ground or the local areas. You're in another country altogether. So the preparation, obviously, you must have had to deal with all the preparations, the team who's going opening. Also, did you go out and look at the pitch? Is it a batting pitch or a bowling pitch? How it's done, etc. So how did you handle all of that?
First of all, we had a few nets before we went to Rome. So that was okay, because our season finished just like 2 weeks before we went to Rome.
Yeah.
So players were there to sharpen up a little bit, a couple of practice sessions. And when we went there was normally we play here on grass and stuff, but they had like artificial 3G pitch, so which is completely new experience to our players.
So what was it? An artificial?
3G pitch.
Okay, so what's different about that to what you play on?
It's like AstroTurf.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like that.
AstroTurf. Right. Okay. So on there, the ball as a normal pitch, is it like bouncing differently, or
Yeah.
how is it for a batsman and for a bowler?
I mean, if I say something, people think like I'm making excuses because
Right.
we lost the game. But like I said, a player I so used to playing on grass and back home here, but there it was a 3G pitch, so it was completely new. Like bowling wise, it wasn't much of a help for spinners. Me myself, I'm a spinner, so it wasn't much help there. But in terms of batting, I think ball was coming too quick and some awkward bounce and stuff like that. So
Right.
by the time we got used to, it was a bit
And,
difficult.
you were playing against the fathers. I mean, we're saying fathers as they are from the Vatican.
Yeah.
Okay, not fathers as in relations, but
Yes.
the Pope's people, the fathers. Now, I mean, personally, I never ever thought that, they would be like playing the game of cricket in this, way. But I mean, as cricketers, how would you rate them?
It was expected because they all come from, like Dubai said, they all come from India, Pakistan,
All right.
Australia, and Sri Lanka.
All
And
cricketing
yeah,
countries.
you know
Right.
how rich the sport is in our country back
Right.
home. So basically, they were expected a bit of tough game, but they were pretty good because
Right.
they all come from like Asia, and Asian people were like really good at cricket anyway. So yeah, we were expecting that, but they were a little bit beyond our expectation as well. So
All
yeah.
right. So what did you decide then, to bat first or bowl first?
Yusuf is still looking at me. I decided to bowl first,
Right.
but we restricted them to, which is quite manageable, total 104.
104 for you guys is nothing, man. I mean, I've come to see your games on a Saturday and Sunday where, come on, 104 runs is, I think that is well under performance from Mount Cricket Club, because 104 runs, you can easily manage. I've seen your teams, run up about 200 odd runs.
I kind of say like first 7, 8 overs, then silly runouts and then game.
So you're probably enjoying the experience, obviously.
Basically, it wasn't about, like Abdul said, it wasn't about winning or losing.
Right.
It's about
just the experience.
yeah, it's about the experience, about the building a bridge between two different faiths.
So you let them win, really, didn't
No,
you?
I wouldn't say that. Do you know what I mean? Basically, win or lose, I think we made our community proud.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
far and most importantly, we made our religion proud. So basically, they were impressed with the way we interacted with them, and then like you said, our sisters and stuff like that, they were there as well. So it's kind of it's absolutely amazing experience. Like,
Right. So I'm sure
For the record, we actually did win a game this.
Oh, you
On the
did.
Friday, we played one of the local teams, Campanella, who actually are a much stronger team than the St. Peter's team.
Right.
And we won very comfortably that game. So for the record.
Right. So you did, no, that's excellent. But I'm just, mashallah, that's very, very nice to know. So you were the team captain throughout the journey. And also we've got here Mr. Riaz Bhai Mutala. He's also the first team captain. And also he traveled as obviously the team as well, but I'm sure it wasn't really about, I'm sure he gained a lot of experience through the journey, being a captain, etc. You're a regular, mashallah, first team captain, and if people are viewing this on the YouTube channel, you can see, I think there's 1, 2 trophies here. There's about 3 trophies just behind the cameras, and you've got something at the back there as well from the Vatican as well. So I mean, you're probably, mashallah, full of trophies this year as well. So your experience on traveling and also being captained by, does he play with you, or are you in different teams?
No, we played it together.
Right, okay, you played together. So firstly, let's welcome Riaz Bhai Mutala. Assalamu alaikum on to Al Mubarak Radio, mashallah. And how was it to be captained by one player, you captain normally on a regular weekends?
Yeah, it was a different experience, but I'm glad somebody did a captainship in future. We did another captain as well, Mount Cricket Club, so he gained experience while playing with me as well. So he asked me a few things about that, and I helped him out. But he's good enough to be a captain anyway. So
Mashallah. So you're basically working together as a team, like always. but one person does have to take that responsibility on the pitch, etc. And it was yourself. So Riaz Bhai Mutala, your first team, you've had a wonderful season.
Alhamdulillah, very, very.
Your Mount Cricket Club as a season, looking back, how many trophies has the first team won?
We won a cup, just one trophy this year.
You've won one trophy, but as general, the whole of Mount Cricket Club.
Yeah, and second team, they won 2 cups. They win the league and they won the cup also.
They won the league and
Yes,
the cup also,
yeah,
mashallah.
alhamdulillah.
So you're going to have a lovely presentation evening coming up probably sometime
inshallah,
end of the year as well. And mashallah, that's excellent because you work hard. I mean, to a lot of people, okay, here I was with Batley Cricket Club the other week when they came on the radio, and we discussed this on our show, that living and in a country where obviously football is the main sport. I mean, to a child, from 5-6 years old, they will be, like praising, like, Manchester United and the Liverpools and Chelsea's, like Suli Mutar, unfortunately, like Leeds United, somebody has to. But, this is what from child, we know football. I mean, come on, cricket is not really the first sport I was talking about this. But what we were talking about is that, joining example, Mount Cricket Club. I mean, I've seen this firsthand as well, that it's not just about that Saturday, afternoon going into the evening or Sunday, just about cricket. It's about a whole kind of, disciplined life, where I've seen a lot of youngsters when, they come training, etc. I mean, Mount Cricket Club behind the scenes, and I'm sure you've helped a lot of youngsters as well, being the captain. So it's not just about throwing a ball and playing the bat. It's about, off the pitch manners as well. And I'm sure this helped you when you went to Rome and when you met, other people from other faiths and also from another country.
Yeah, definitely, right there. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I always believe in this. If you respect the others, you're gonna get respect automatically.
Yeah.
And cricket is not about playing just a cricket. It's about making new friends, because when we're playing cricket, you met a lot of different people. So I love playing cricket, and I tell youngsters as well. It's a very, very good sport. It's a gentleman's sport, and I hope where they come and play cricket for Mount Cricket Club. Mount Cricket Club is an excellent club, and I please everyone welcome anytime.
Right, and I'm sure you're looking forward as well to the next year as well. And the season must start around after. Obviously, now is the winter period.
Yeah.
But
Inshallah,
early spring, etc.
Yeah, inshallah, we're gonna do practice session soon. In December, January, indoor practice session. Then league will be start in April. So yeah, definitely, inshallah, looking forward to play again next year.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair for coming on to. Let's bring it back to Mr. Abdul Bhai Rawat as well, who's mashallah, giving up his time this evening for Mount Cricket Club. What would you like to add to this? What we've talked about, I mean, manners, discipline, etc. I mean, it's just not a sport, is it? I mean, this is something that I think a lot of youngsters have to be educated on for them to understand, because to a lot of people it's just to wear the white outfit, the pads like I was mentioning, bat, ball, and you go home. I mean, but there's more to cricket than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as Riaz Bhai has said, this is a gentleman's game, and I think some of the efficacies and some of the values in which we played the game was on show to the whole world while we were in Rome. So it's simple measures like saying thank yous and please to the umpires, when you're starting up to bowl, or when you're collecting your cap at the end of the over. It's actually being appreciative of a good shot when your opposition plays that shot, and when a wicket had fallen, clapping the old batsman out, off the ground. So it's simple measures, simple things like that, which demonstrates a lot of things to those who are there, and also to your opposition. At the end of the day, we know the cameras were there, and we know that what we did was being viewed and what was being recorded. Excuse me. So we had to be good role models on the day. And I think, excuse me, and I think that's some of the values that we try to instill in Mount. I mean, Riaz Bhai just gave a glimpse of what happens during the season, but a lot of the work commences straight after the season overs. We've got plans in terms of indoor sessions for girls and boys this year. That will emanate in terms of teams for under 11, under 13, under 15. Hopefully a girls team next year. Also, we've got the first team and second team and a team in the Sunday. So lot of time, a lot of resources, and a lot of volunteering goes on, which goes unnoticed. Unfortunately, our star Hassan Bhai isn't there, but without people like Hassan Bhai, our club wouldn't exist. He's normally the first person to be there on a Saturday or a Sunday, or even during the week, when we practice, and he's normally the last person who leaves the club. Without that dedication, at the end of the day, what's on offer? The alternative is that young people don't have any outlets, don't learn discipline, don't understand teamwork, don't understand respect, and that's what's on offer. So these skills that if we can instill in our youth at an early age, that will last throughout their cricketing careers, but more importantly in their community and within wider society.
Mashallah, that's excellent. We also have sitting alongside you now, joining us as well, Mr. Badru Bhai Patel, mashallah, who's the second team captain as well. And this part of it, we're going to do in Gujarati as well, because mashallah, he is representing everybody listening who talks Gujarati. So this is going to be a bit hard for me as well. But inshallah, welcome. Firstly, assalamu alaikum. Badru Bhai, jazakallah tame aiwa. Mashallah, tama time line. અને માશાલ્લાહ આપણે મુલાકાત એમ બી થયા કરે બદ્રુભાઈ તમે બી આ માઉન્ટ ક્રિકેટ ક્લબ હાથે વાટિકન ગયા અને તમે ક્રિકેટ રમ્યા તમારું ઓવરઓલ એક્સપિરિયન્સ જે તમારા હાથે જે ટીમ ગયેલા અને ઓરતો ને આપણા કમ્યુનિટી માટે કમ્યુનિટી થી આપણે બરા મોટા હઝરત બી તમારા હાથે ગયેલા તો તમારો એક્સપિરિયન્સ
જી અસ્સલામ વાલેકુમ માશાલ્લાહ અમે રમવા ગયા બધા સાથે રહીમાં મોટા માણસો બી અમારી સાથે હતા સોલીભાઈ હતા ઇકબાલભાઈ હતા અજીતભાઈ હતા પછી લેડીઝ લોકો બી હતા બહેનો બી હતી મારી વાઈફ હતી મારી છોકરી પણ આવેલી સાથે માશાલ્લાહ બહુ મજા આવી બહુ સારી રીતે રહીમાં જેમ કે અબ્દુલભાઈ રિયાઝભાઈ જુનેદભાઈએ કીધું કે આપણી મુસ્લિમ કોમ માટે અમે એટલું સારું કર્યું કે અમે બિહેવ વાઇઝ કે બધી રીતે અમે બહુ વેરી ગુડ મતલબ કે બહુ એ કર્યું અમે ને અમને લોકો ઇજ્જત બી બહુ આપી ને અમારી સાથે એ લોકોનો જે સુલુક બતાવ્યો બહુ સરસ હતો સાદિકભાઈ ને થેન્ક્સ કે સાદિકભાઈ આમ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝ કર્યું અમારી માઉન્ટ ક્લબ નો બી થેન્ક્સ કે અમને બધાને ઇન્વાઇટ કરીને લઈ ગયા એ માશાલ્લાહ બહુ લાઈફમાં આપણે કે ને કે એક બહુ મોટો અનુભવ મળ્યો ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ ગયા વાટિકન રૂમ મેં તો લાઈફમાં બી નહીં ગયેલો રૂમ કે
તમે તમારા લાઈફમાં આવું કઈ કોઈ ડારે એક્સપિરિયન્સ કર્યો
નો કોઈ
દિવસ નહીં કોઈ ડારે તમને ઉમ્મીદ હતી કે તમે આવું કઈ પાર્ટિસિપેટ કરશે
નો પણ બહુ મોટો હતું એસીબી અમને બ્લેઝર આપ્યા ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ બ્લેઝર પહેરીને અમે ત્યાં ગયા એટલે એટલું બધું પ્રાઉડ થયું કે ભાઈ આપણે માઉન્ટ ને પ્રેઝન્ટ કરીને અમે ગયેલા માશાલ્લાહ બહુ નાઈસ અમને એક્સપિરિયન્સ થયો ખૂબ મજા આવી બધાએ બહુ એન્જોય કર્યું લેડીઝ લોકોએ બહુ એન્જોય કર્યું મોટા લોકો બધાએ
તમે એમ સેકન્ડ ટીમના કેપ્ટન બી ને તમે કઈ ક્રિકેટ યાની ક્રિકેટના અંદરમાં કઈ તમે જેવી રીતે આપણે જુનેદભાઈ જે ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ કેપ્ટન હતા તેનો બી તમે સાથ દીધેલો હોય કઈ મશવરો કે આવી રીતે કઈ એમ
બધા મળીને જ એકબીજાની સાથે જ કરતા હતા કે ભાઈ શું કરવું હવે આ કરવું તે કરવું એ રીતે માશાલ્લાહ મજા આવી ગ્રાઉન્ડ પર બધા બહુ સરસ હતા બહુ નાઈસ હતા બધા ને બધી રીતે અમે ખૂબ એન્જોય કર્યું
જી માશાલ્લાહ તમારા જે સૂટ ટાઈના અંડરમાં માશાલ્લાહ તમારા બધા ફોટા બી માશાલ્લાહ જે પડેલા હતા માશાલ્લાહ બહુ બધા સ્માર્ટ લાગી રહેલા હતા માશાલ્લાહ અને તમે જેવી રીતે જે આખું શોમાં આપણે કહેતા રહેલા છે કે એક યાની રોલ મોડેલ પકડ તમે લોકો ત્યાં ગયેલા ને એઝ એન એક્ઝામ્પલ તો તમે ત્યાં જ્યારે ગયેલા ને તમે જ્યારે જે પેલા વાટિકનના લોગો hatte જે એ લોકોએ તમને જ્યારે ગ્રીટ કર્યા તો એ લોકો હાથે તમારું સુલુક ને એ લોકો હાથે વાતચીત બધું બરાબર એમ
બહુ સરસ મતલબ કે અમે લોકો જ્યારે વેલકમ કર્યા અમે જ્યારે ગ્રાઉન્ડ પર ગયા ને એ લોકોએ ક્લાપિંગ કરીને અમને જ્યારે મીડિયા હતું કેમેરાઝ હતા ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ લાઈફમાં ને બધા બહુ અમે એ થઈ ગયેલા કે યાર આટલી બધી ઇજ્જત આપણને કોઈ આપી આપણે અહીંયાથી ત્યાં ગયા ને આટલી મોટી માઉન્ટનું નામ ઇંગ્લેન્ડનું નામ મુસલમાનોનું નામ માશાલ્લાહ બહુ અમને ઇજ્જત કરેલી એ લોકોએ ક્લાપિંગ કર્યું બધા ઉભા થઈને મોટા મોટા ગોરિયા લોકો હતા ઈસીબી માંથી હતા આઈસીસી માંથી હતા યોર્કશાયર માંથી માર્ક આર્થર હતા ને અમને ક્લાપિંગ કરીને અમે બધા પ્લેયરો અંદર ગયા અમારી બધાની ફેમિલી પણ બધા બહુ ખુશ થયા અને બહુ મતલબ કે થયા કે લાઈફમાં કયા મનકો કેમ મળ્યું છું.
માશાલ્લાહ. And overall તમે કેટલી ક્રિકેટ ગેમ રમેલા?
2 ગેમ રમેલા.
અચ્છા.
અમે આગલા દિવસે એક ગેમ રમેલા પ્રેક્ટિસ મેચ
જી.
અને બીજે દિવસે મેઇન ગેમ રમેલા.
અચ્છા.
એક
So-
જીત્યા એક હારી ગયા હતા.
અચ્છા. સો એક પ્રેક્ટિસ માં હતી ને એક મેન હતી.
match હતી.
ને તેના પછી તમે પાછળ પૂરી ઝિયારત ને અચ્છા તેનું બીજી પૂછી લે કે રોમ તો માશાલ્લાહ ઇટ્સ ફૂલ ઓફ હિસ્ટ્રી. કેમ બધું બહુ વસ્તુ તા માશાલ્લાહ તો તે તમે થોડું ઝિયારત બી કરવા
જે
ગયા.
અમને અમને ત્યાં આપણા ચર્ચમાં બી લઈ ગયેલા.
અચ્છા.
પછી અમને પેલું પેઇન્ટિંગમાં બતાવેલું પેલા એન્જેલો.
Yeah. I'll explain. I'll
जी.
explain. Sorry, Matu, to
अच्छा.
Gujarati Haruni are it or
जी.
English में पासे बात करूँ
जी.
मैं. But I'll explain what happened as part of the, in addition to the cricket.
Right.
So to give you an example of what Badrubai was saying about, you know, how the cohesion of the group worked. Yeah.
जी.
So when we went there on the Thursday, and after we sort of relaxed for a bit, we did some sightseeing and we went. You know, we all had a meal together, which was really nice because it enabled all the group. And you've got to remember, 33 people of us traveled, and there were young people. There were senior people in there, so you know, all different walks of life. So it's not an easy group to manage, you know, all that side. But mashallah, we traveled together, we ate together. It was really good. What we did then, we did a mashwara because one of the key planks of our whole event was that we were going to go and see the Vatican, yeah, and we were going to get a viewing of the Vatican that most public will not get access to.
Okay.
So that was the first, you know, honor that they showed us. But the issue, the logistical issue from that was that we had to get to the Vatican at 8:00 in the morning, yeah. And one of the issues was that if we were going to get there for 8:00, we had to forego breakfast because they were only started serving breakfast at 7:00.
Right.
So we did a mashwara, and Hanipai and everybody else, you know, gave the pros and cons, and everybody agreed that, you know, we cannot afford to miss an experience like this. So as a result of that, we said that we would all forego breakfast. However, you know, what was nice was that the hotel basically understood our predicament, and what they did for us was that they packed us a breakfast for us, you know, small breakfast bags for all of us, which was really nice of them. They didn't have to do it, but they did it because they understood the significance of why we were there. So that was, for me, is little things like that was really good. So then when we went to the Vatican, we were greeted by Father Samir, Father O'Higgin, who were and Father McCulloch, who were the key people that Sadiq Bhai had been liaising with. And it's as if we knew, you know, they were our brothers. It's as if we'd known them. We'd never met them in our lives, but we knew them instantly. And that was the bond of friendship. And then, you know, we saw some of the works and some of the jewels within the Vatican that most people don't get access to. Normally, when we go to the museum, most people have to queue for 4 hours. We went in straight away. And the memory that will stay in my mind is looking at the ceiling that Michelangelo did in Sistine Chapel. That is a sight of the world. You know, you just don't get views like that. You don't appreciate the cultural history attached to that, whatever your beliefs may be. So those are some of the very precious things. I mean, I'll let Brother Masood speak about what happened on Sunday when we were able to, I think 9 of us went to actually mass, you know, where the Pope held. But unfortunately, we couldn't go. But Brother Masood went, so I'll let him explain that.
Right. Okay. We do have now be presenting the PKWA Center is Brother Muhammad Maqsood. Jazakumullah khair, and firstly, assalamu alaikum for coming on to Al Mubarak Radio.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Brother Fayaz is not here, so inshallah he may come. So he may be joining us. But anyway, Brother Muhammad Maqsood Sahib, you also went on this journey, and unforgettable probably as well. And just like Brother Abdul Bhai is saying as well, your experience and, you know, your in words really of that amazing journey you took.
Alhamdulillah, it was a beautiful experience. I mean, words can't describe the whole scenario of the whole journey and all those. I mean, as Abdul Bhai said earlier on, it's something that you can't relish, you can't forget. And I mean, again, as I say, it's just one of those things that just comes once in a lifetime opportunity. And I mean, talking about the Popal Mass on Sunday, I mean, the rest of them Abdul Bhai has already explained, so I wouldn't go much in detail. But I mean, I'll take it from the Popal Mass. We actually went on Sunday morning for the Popal Mass, and it was a rare opportunity at this time that there were 4 people
who were pontificated as saints, and an extremely rare opportunity that a husband and wife were made saints.
Yeah.
So that was that, and it's just like how we have our traditional khutbahs.
Yes.
It was their khutbah where they had to recite the verses for each and every decade and stuff.
Right. Okay.
And then it was again the pontifacting of the saints and all those their body parts and miniature. You can say tombs and all those.
Okay.
That was that, and then we were very gracious enough to be uh, seated in the VIP area, and we had a very rare glance of His Holiness the Pope itself. So
Right,
that
mashallah.
was a wonderful experience itself. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And how? I mean, because obviously you're not. Did you play the cricket as well, or were you just?
No, we were over there as
Yeah, right,
spectators,
but-
more like supporters.
Right. Okay. So I can ask you this. I mean, amongst the players, okay, how was your, how was the experience, and what did you see from the outside? I mean, you were like seeing the game
Yes.
and seeing the players' reactions on being there, and for them, their experience, from an outside, if you were to look at the whole situation of the players and their experience, how would you put it into your words?
I mean, from an outsider's perspective, in terms of the players, it was a very sort of rare opportunity, once in a lifetime chance to play against His Holiness the Pope Francis team, the Vatican 11 team. So that was one. They were full of enthusiasm, and I mean, they had one of those, you know. Jazbas where they wanted to win the match,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't about winning and all those. It was more about building bridges
Indeed.
among multi faiths and all those. The women, they were wonderful cheers, and they were supporting the players itself. And we actually had quite a good time over there. I mean, we were actually, from my perspective, we were actually speaking to ECB and YCB who were over there, and we're just trying to build our own sort of networking and all those. So I mean, everything was going on. Plus, we had Auntie Abeda,
Okay.
Mrs. Rajpura, who actually had bought some parathas, and we were just testing all the cuisines and everything. And
So you were enjoying the food.
yeah, so we were enjoying the food and we were
Yeah.
enjoying the game, and I mean, the whole atmosphere was beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, because you see, I have to ask you, because obviously as players, because they're all focused onto the game, and obviously they're thinking about playing the game. That's why they're out there. Somebody from an outsider, you're observing, their behavior. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of excitement as well.
there was indeed. Yeah.
That we're here at the Vatican now. We've been talking about this. We've had meetings about this, but now it's like they say, we walk the walk, but you got to talk the talk as well. So this is an amazing experience for yourself. PKWA, you also went along with Mount Cricket Club as well, and brother Fayaz, on his behalf as well. As he can't be, I'm sure, I met him actually 2 afternoons, yesterday and today.
Yes.
And he's always a person who will always go on board to help, and anyone. I mean, just this afternoon I had 2 sisters here from Bradford in my office, and they were looking for a place, for example, to do some workshops for sisters in Batley Dewsbury.
Yes.
So the first name that came to my head was Fiaz. So I ring him, straight away looks at the diary and he said, no problem. So I use our PKWA center. I mean, this is the kind of man brother Fayaz is. So on his behalf as well, and Pakwa Center, would you like to give a message out as well?
I mean, as you said earlier on, brother, I mean, Mr. Fiaz is always, he goes out of his way to help each and every one. And our partnership with Mount is in such an essence that we want to help them, either it be with giving them support, or either it be financially, either it be with providing them facilities in terms of having events, meetings, and congregation, and so on and so forth. So, inshallah, we shall be doing that till the end of the world and all those. And I mean, my message to everyone on behalf of PKWA and on behalf of Fayaz Rashid is that we all are a team. We all working towards the same goals, and we all should be together. At the end of the day, we are Muslim brothers, sisters, and all those. And inshallah, we'll just take it from there, really.
Yeah, and also, from the women's part as well, we can't forget, and we touched on it very briefly, talking about Dr. Rajpura's wife,
Yes,
the
that's
Barata, etc. But there were quite a few women there, as well as Mr. Soli Adams' family was there, Dr. Rajpura's family, Mr. Batu Patel's family was there. So there was your own,
Yes,
mashallah,
my own missus was there.
Mrs. etc. was there as well. So from their part, and this is one very 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 brilliant thing that I would say Mount Cricket Club has done. That also the involvement of females as well. And on their behalf as well. I mean, if yourself and also brother Abdul Bhai Rawat can mention this, because I'm sure they played a huge part being out there and obviously representing again our community. Not only the community, I would say, but as this has escalated into a lot of media out there in the world. So they were representing the Muslim faith.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
if you can touch on that as well from the female side as well.
From the female side, all the sisters, mothers, daughters that had gone, I mean, they were all there to help us out. And I do appreciate all the help and all those. Thanks a lot for coming along. They were there as guides to us. They were there as supporters. They were there to cheer us up all. And essentially, I said guides because we got lost a few times, and they were there to help us show the right way and stuff and all those. And it does show, I mean, from the point of Islam, from our religion, that we actually point out that either it be female or either it be male, we all equal. And that's one of the points that we wanted to highlight through the medium of this the female Abdul Bhai to point out, of course, mashallah, your daughter was there. She was an ambassador for the whole female. I was listening to the interview and she did radio as well. So other hands.
Well, I think Brother Suda's more or less, in terms of their participation. I think that was a very bold decision that we took, because the result of that, what we got is that interfaith interaction, and actually the people we met saw a different side of our faith and our community and our culture in a way that perhaps they probably not had experienced face to face. So I mean, the ladies were not quiet by no means. They were very vocal. They spoke to all the dignitaries that were there, and and credit to Dr. Rajpura's, she was a lovely lady. I mean, I'll give you an example of her warmth and well wishing. What I really liked is that we went there with smiles, but we came back with even bigger smiles, and that was a result of all of us coming together and being felt as a family. A lot of us, it was like an experience that you would have if you go to Hajj Umrah. They became part of your family, and the whole experience was enriched by the ladies being there, being our guardians. As Brother Masood had said, we did get lost a few times, But I think a wider point from that is that at least through the positive journalistic reporting of this, because let's be clear, the journalists could have misinterpreted this or could have actually reported in a very different light. But actually, 99.999% of the journalists have reported it in the spirit that we wanted it. And that, in a sense, was Mr. Sadiq's vision.
Yeah.
And that vision was played out in front of our eyes.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Is Sadiq bhai here? Right. Okay. Anyway, inshallah, we're going to now get on, inshallah, onto the, if you can also move in, if you can. We really want Mr. Nisar bhai on the visual as well, which is being streamed live on Al Mubarak Radio. If you go to our website, www.almubarakradio.com, and hit the watch live button at the top, where you can see this completely live. Now, I have in front of me, mashallah, one of the sponsors of the whole journey, and that is Mini Travel, okay, luxury mini coach travel, and this the owner behind Mini Travel, Mr. Nisar bhai Bengali. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
And Mr. Nisar bhai, just speak a bit loudly. How was your experience? I'm sure you really must have enjoyed the experience as a sponsor. You're out there with the cricket team on one side, also like I mentioned, all the females, and then you're going out there, all the the Vatican people, meeting them, greeting them. I'm sure you had a lovely, lovely time.
Actually, I don't know where to start from, first of all, but because I'm not good at talking, but now I'm getting used to it. These guys, I'm not a cricket fan, I never was, but now I'm actually the dreaded going in the right direction
All right.
because I don't. It's actually like something to preserve and cherish for the rest of your life. Like when we were in the meetings with, it was like brothers have just said, it's Sadiq's vision. He had a vision to do something, and Allah Ta'ala used us lot. So it's like dawat, and that's how we look at it. Nabi Sallam spread the word of dawat around the world. And through this is what we have done through the media, around the world, Muslim cricket team playing with the Vatican. Now everybody knows we deal with these people, we never know them. We never seen them. The religion is totally different, but the love and the humbleness they showed to us is unbelievable. And like these people, and yourself, I only met you last year in the presentation, 9 months, and look where I end up in the beauty of Vatican. Amazing.
Subhanallah. So, your role, okay, you sponsored the Mount Cricket Club. What was actual the sponsor all about?
To be honest, I only gave a small token, but when somebody gives with sincerity, and look, that's what I'm enjoying it all the way. But I only help them, and inshallah, that's what I will always do, not only out anywhere else, because we have to help our local people, cricket team or any other sports, because Mount Cricket Club is not just about cricket; it's a family club. Everybody's welcome, and they do a lot of other like Down syndromes, a lot of other projects, and there's a lot of other projects to come. So if we can be like not myself, other business people should support them and all. That's what I say.
So, mashallah, if anybody, mashallah, is listening out there, also wanting to book the mini travel coach, then get in touch with mini travel. They are very, very nice. They're small, you've got only like
very
16
small,
seaters or 30 seaters or something. Small, VIP services as well. I have to say, I had the opportunity, mashallah, when you took us before Ramadan in your Mercedes as well, all the way to, I think we went to Gloucester, Swindon and Gloucester, as well. So, mashallah, anybody, my recommendation for families, small family outings, etc., even to go to meetings for your businesses, etc., get in touch with Mini Travel, competitive prices as well. And we also put your adverts on our radio as well, so on a continuous basis as well. So a big jazakallah to Mr. Nisaba Bengali, jazakallah khair for coming as well. Anybody else wanting, we're going to have now, inshallah, Suleiman Bhai Mutara and also Yusuf Bhai Kayat, who are, mashallah, the secretary and also and the vice chair of Mount Cricket Club as well. Inshallah, who are going to be coming on. Mr. Suleiman Bhai Mutara will be explaining also, the what's upcoming as well for Mount Cricket Club, and which direction and what's ahead for all the Mount Cricket Club fans, etc. So a lot to look forward to. So as they get ready to come on, inshallah, we will have Mr. Yusuf Bhai Kayat and also Mr. Suleiman Bhai Mutara. So inshallah, firstly we'll have Yusuf Bhai here as well. Jazakallah khair for coming into the studio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa Mubarak. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Yusuf Bhai, mashallah, a dream, a vision. That's the word, being used by mostly all your, players, your sponsors, everybody who's come on PKWA. It was a dream, vision, which was taken by one person, and that one person, fortunately, is not here with Muhammad Bhai Sadiq Patel.
Yes.
He, mashallah, put together for Mount Cricket Club a journey which I am sure yourself, Mount Cricket Club, will never ever forget.
No, alhamdulillah. From day one, he organized everything. Mashallah, to the T, everything he said or everything he promised was delivered. I don't even think, if you look back at it now, that even Steven Spielberg couldn't have written a better script for us. That's how good he was.
Not even Steven Spielberg could have written a better script. Subhanallah. This is, you're hearing this live on Al Mubarak Radio. Right. Anyway, brothers and sisters, Yusuf bhai, mashallah, you mashallah also you were modeling before you went out, the the shirts and the ties, everything looking very, very smart. You also actually just came back from Hajj,
Yeah.
I think, and a
Yes.
few days,
6 days later.
well, 6 days. I mean, how was that period of that? Because it's less than a week.
It's less than a week.
Yeah, and I know what it's like coming back from Hajj.
Mm.
You need probably a week or even 2 weeks just to recover, and it's not easy. And again, getting on a flight, going to the Vatican, and I'm sure you were like really, really organizing everything there for the everyone. Hanif Bhai and all the team that went out with you.
Alhamdulillah, over there, to be honest with you, I didn't need to do anything because Alhamdulillah, Sadiq organized everything. But we had my man on the right here, Suleiman, and Hanif Bhai to sort everything out. So I just took a back seat,
Right.
and when it was time to get up and sit on the bus, I did that.
Okay, subhanallah. So your personal, your experience, and yourself, you've been playing cricket ever since I can remember. We're not going to give your age away, okay? But you've been playing for a long, long time now. But have you ever experienced, something like this in your cricketing, career?
The nearest we came to, I'm talking about the VIP treatment and the red carpet treatment that we got at the Vatican, was when we, Alhamdulillah, we went to Saudi for a cricket tour a few years ago.
Okay.
So I was kind of expecting it, but,
Right, but would you say he matched it, or
no,
was
they bettered it.
Vatican, Vatican bettered it?
The Vatican bettered it.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, you've not experienced anything like this.
Alhamdulillah, I noticed one thing with the all the priests and fathers that we met. They're very humble people. They talk in a very low voice. They'll even stop talking when you start talking and let you finish, and then they will never interrupt people when they're talking. Alhamdulillah, it was very, very holy people that we met. It's like I told somebody that here we have our ulemas, distinguished ulemas here, which live a simple life, and over there these guys do exactly same.
So
in their
they're
religion.
very, very simple
Very
people.
simple life. Use public transport to go everywhere.
Right. And
Very
it's like,
humble.
Vatican is basically like, we would say, our Markaz,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
Well, the Vatican itself, picture this, they have 28,000 visitors daily.
a day.
Yep. And the
Subhanallah.
queuing system is, I saw the last post that I saw when we were walking past people is 4 hours from here. And we got to go basically, as soon as we got there, we just at the VIP treatment, and we went straight in with the VIP tour as well.
Also, it's 28,000 people. That is a lot
Per
of
day.
people.
Yeah, it is a lot.
That is a lot of people. So that area also must be very, very busy as
It
well.
was very, very busy. But we got toured
Right.
sort of the VIP way, so we didn't really
So
have
at
to
the
queue for
cricket ground, did a lot of people come out to watch the game as well?
apparently, some people came, but a lot of watched it on TV. Because in
Oh,
the
so it was
evening, when we
televised
went,
as
yeah,
well?
it was televised
Oh,
in their
right.
local area. Yes, I met a few Asian guys who work there in restaurants and stuff. When we went out in the evening, they saw us, you're from England and you lost today. So they all knew who
So
we
they
were.
knew straight away, England kya wala chaya.
Yeah.
Eh? Right. Anyway, subhanallah.
And for the record, I haven't got over the loss yet. I don't like
I bet you're waiting for them to come here.
Alhamdulillah, yes, the rematch, they were just talking about it in the presentation, what we had in the evening. And I think Mark surprised himself as well as everybody else when he offered to have it at Headingley Cricket Ground, which is obviously for Abdul Bhai, that will be his last game for Mount Cricket Club. So he knows when he's retiring. He's still here. Inshallah, Abdul Bhai. No, I've still got 15 years left, so I'm still okay.
Subhanallah. So
Alhamdulillah.
Headingley is where the return game is.
The
going to
return
be
game is, we're hoping to have it completely packed out.
full.
Fully. Headingley has, I don't think they've ever had it packed out for quite a few number of years. But inshallah, our target will be,
What's their capacity?
I reckon about 30-35,000.
And that's going to be full.
Inshallah.
35,000. You're going to Suleiman Mutara.
Well, that's when we need your help.
He's going to be walking out on the, what do you call that?
from the pavilion.
From the pavilion.
The hollow turf.
Yeah, you're going to be that will be definitely televised as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah,
On
I'm
Sky
sure
Sports.
if the ECB and if everybody involved, and that will be a very,
We have
very-
to thank while some on the mic that ECB, Yorkshire County Cricket Board,
Yes, definitely.
they spent just under £10,000 on us going there, getting us out and everything. So credit given where it's due.
Okay, so ECB and also Yorkshire Cricket Club.
They
Yeah.
they funded the clothing that we wore there.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
and when
And
I
that's
wore
for
the shirt,
everybody as well,
like I
isn't it?
told everybody,
Yeah.
last time I wore a shirt, I got married.
All right, so
Long time
it's
since
been
I
a
went
while,
to-
that
and
means.
this is the only time I'm ever gonna wear one. So
Right.
if anybody's got any ideas,
But you'll
of
have
new
to wear
ideas,
one when you come back for the return game as well, isn't it?
I'll see,
That's
inshallah.
probably next year. Anyway, Jazakallah khair, Mr. Yusuf Baker, and also we have with him his right hand man. I mean, it's like wherever you see Yusuf, but you have to see Suleiman. Otherwise, it's not it's like a partnership made in heaven. Right. Anyway, like they say, your other half, isn't it? Right, Mr. Suleiman Mutara, welcome to Al Mubarak Radio again. Assalamu alaikum to you as well, and also, mashallah. You are responsible for giving the news out, what's coming ahead, your planning, etc., for the future, your present, and also, the past now is obviously the Vatican and the whole season. So now, what is there more to come from Mount Cricket Club?
Okay, as you know, that Mount Cricket Club has gone strength to strength after 35 years to 38 years. We've always gone higher and higher. The maximum what we did, me and Yusuf did, was the Saudi Arabia tour when we went this February. But Alhamdulillah, we had a good season last year as well. And after the season, we've got the Vatican tour, which we just completed. Now, to do something better, what we have decided is to go on a Panama tour, which will inshallah be around February time. And we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I think one of the responsibles from Panama, Saleh, isn't it?
Yeah,
Saleh, I've known him for about 6-7 years on Facebook. He came to Batley, and believe it or not, we never met. Every time he messaged me, I want to meet you, and I don't know, somehow we just never met. I think he's in India right now or somewhere. But mashallah, that is the next planning as well for Mount Cricket Club, or going all the way out to Panama.
Yes, that's our next plan of tour to Panama.
And so again, there you're going to be playing with the local teams, etc., just like how you did it, for the Saudi Arabian tour as well.
Yes, something like that. Like you said, brother Saleh Bana,
Yeah.
he's going to be organizing his side from Panama. So once we have more details, we are more likely to share it with the people.
Right. Okay. So and also what else is to come?
Right. Starting in December, we've got the Mount kids and the girls who will be doing indoor training in cooperation with IMWS with the Mount CC coaches. So that will be taking place for about 12 weeks. 12 weeks, yeah. It'll be a 12-week course. It'll be 1.5 hours for boys and 1.5 hours for girls.
This is in the winter period. Yeah?
Yes.
Right.
You should get the, it should be advertised in the Pegam more nearer to the time. So once we have more details, I will share it with you. In January, we've got the presentation night for Mount, which we have, or which we hold every year. We're expecting around 1,000 people again.
Last time I remember it was a full house, and it always is. I think
Alhamdulillah.
Mount Cricket Club annual presentation evening has always been a big success.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's always
along the
been a
years, and
success.
I
Everyone
remember
actually looks forward to it.
Yeah.
Even though we have it in January, come February, people say, "Oh, when are you going to have the next one?" That's how big it is.
I think everybody looks forward to the Dar Chokha.
We had biryani last time.
Was it biryani? Yeah, last time you had biryani.
Right.
But I'm sure the people look forward and they come out. But the good thing is, I mean, I've seen it many times that people stay, and also, mashallah, the guests every year, like last year, you had a wonderful, mashallah, guest lineup. Who came, especially from the ECB and the Yorkshire Cricket Club as well.
Yeah, we had the Mark Arthur come up from last year, who was the chief executive for Yorkshire County Cricket Board. Him and his wife came over. Believe it or not, when we went to the Vatican game, there were some ECB officials there, and the first thing they said to me was, before we talk any further, when is your presentation night? And I'm looking at him around January. Is there a reason why? And he said, can you please send me an invite?
All right.
I really need to come and see this one because Mark has always told us, and we just do not believe in that there'll be about 1,000 people coming to support a small club, a village club. Come and support,
So
the
is
club
this,
itself.
is this not normal then in other clubs where obviously they must, everybody must have like a annual presentation evening.
Yeah, most Mark, whilst we were talking to him, when the first time he came, he says the highest number of people that attend a normal one that he does or he attends as a speaker is about a couple of hundred people.
Was that it?
So he was absolutely shocked when he saw so
I
many
could tell
people.
because I interviewed
Yeah.
them at the
Yeah, so and for the record, Saturday, January 23rd is the date. So obviously, the ECB uh, representatives will be coming and Mark will be coming as well. So we have some very important people coming, and the date's already noted and it's being booked for 23rd.
23rd.
And we will need Al Mubarak's kind help
Right.
as we had last year as well, inshallah.
Okay. Anyway, Jazakallah khair for letting us know that. Again, mashallah, the season obviously now has come to an
The season has
Mm.
finished, but we've already started process of next season. First, we focus on our juniors. We have currently an under 13s team. Inshallah, next year we'll have an extra team with the under 13s and the under 9s and under 15s team as well. This is a new team for our club, and inshallah, we'll be seeking people to obviously sponsor the team, help out on the match days and stuff. We'll have our two senior teams playing as normal as well, and the Sunday team as well, inshallah.
And what about the girls' team? How
The
far?
girls team, inshallah, last year we just sort of kicked it off, but this year what we're planning to do with help of IMWS is get them to come to a 15-week indoor course, start from the basics. Girls any age from 5 till 11 can attend. Inshallah, the article should be in Pegam for December issue and we'll start in January. So that will be our step, one
So
first step.
there must be parents listening right now, and you've got young girls, etc. What is the whole aim of getting girls, out
Well,
there?
the whole aim, the girl is the same for boys. Is we invite them for cricket. They learn skills there, and the main thing is making new friends.
Making you also, I think one word that I think you've not used is confidence.
Yes.
It helps children gain confidence, and a lot of these things, because I've seen my boys grow up, etc., and unfortunately this is lacking in our Asian people. If you go right, and this is in the example, the non-Muslim faith, you go to a training session, forget the match, training session of a rugby match, a football match, you will see the whole families out there supporting their kid. And unfortunately, when it comes to football and cricket, etc., when it comes to our, they will think, oh, Mount Cricket Club, they've got these many people, they look after our children. Okay, you send your children to a training session, etc., and that's it. Okay, but you know what it means to a child if their mom and dad are stood on the sidelines and just applauding their little effort, what they've just done, and that confidence, okay, which comes out of the child is unbelievable. This is something I think every parent should understand.
Well, my son he started playing this year. My smallest son, he's 9, and he played his first competition in Leicester, believe it or not. So we had to go to Leicester with him, and my cousins and brother-in-law come from Leicester just to watch him as well. We're so happy that day. Obviously, his relatives and family came to watch him
Exactly.
in Leicester, and they won as well. So, alhamdulillah, it was
It
good
boosts a
experience.
child's confidence.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things which I would like to say, what you have just already said, is when a child hits a four, or even if it's playing a football, when he scores a goal, when everybody else is applauding him, the coach might be applauding him, but the first thing he wants to watch is his parents.
Exactly.
Because the first thing they want to look at is the parents, and give them that little smile.
Yeah,
That smile says a lot.
So
It's priceless.
it's
definitely.
priceless for a child. So parents, go out with your kids when they go to these cricket training sessions and football, whatever it is. Support is very, very important for the children, and you said it in all one go. But anything else you guys want to add, before we all sign out?
Yes, just like to say, after the January event, which we will be holding, like Yusuf has said, we will be talking about the Panama tour, which will hopefully be around the February time. Then thereafter, we will be having our season starts in Huddersfield Central League, which will be the first team will be playing in Section A again. Sorry, the Premier Division. The second team will be playing in Section B. We'll be having an under 13s team, under 9s team, under 15s team, inshallah, if everything goes to plan. We will have the girls training session. And if we have enough players and if we have enough girls, we will be looking into having a girls team. We will be having a Sunday afternoon league game, which is another team which we organized last year. Those are for the youngsters. So we will be trying to get that sorted out again. And thereafter, if Allah wills, we'll go strength to strength again.
Inshallah. And hopefully, again, like you said, Mr. Subhay.
Yeah. Just before I give the mic to Yusuf, I'd just like to say, from a small club, I would like to thank all the sponsors, because without the sponsors, the club would not benefit, in any way at all. Because to gain some money, it's very, very hard in this day and age. We would like to say thank you to Chicanos and Brother Mubarak for sponsoring the senior team, and Nasir Belaher from AMS Accounts, who actually sponsors the under 13s team and then the 9s, and Nisar Bengali for doing the hoodies for all the players, and also Al Murads for giving us the polo shirts for all the players.
And Jazakallah, before we leave, I'm going to get Abdul Bhai and Riaz Bhai to have some last words. Once finally, Jazakallah to Umar Farooq. It's been wonderful. And to all the people that are listening, Jazakallah for giving us time and listening. And inshallah, the people who know me and the people who I have a laugh with, inshallah, there will be no more interviews regarding Rome. I think people in Baki are getting a bit fed up with me posting pictures, especially the famous Akuji Badas WhatsApp group.
Right. Okay. Subhanallah. Right. Okay. So we will be having Brother Abdul Bhai Rawat and Riaz Bhai Mutala as well, the first team captain as well. Last words before we all sign out. Riaz Bhai, welcome back. What would you like to add on to everything that has already been said?
I just like to add last things, in this Vatican tour, Alhamdulillah, kind of that experience I had, I think is going to stay with me forever. And also, I like to say special thanks to some people, especially Sadiq Patel for organizing all this, Mount Cricket Club, Yusuf Kaya, Suli Mutala for organizing all hotels and transfer and all that stuff, and also all supporters, who come with us, and that's it. Jazakallah to everyone.
Jazakallah, Riaz Bhai. And lastly, we have Mr. Abdul Bhai Rao, the media manager, as well. Lastly, your thoughts and views.
Well, I think as an experience and as an event, it's just astounding the reaction that we've received locally, nationally, and internationally, beyond all our expectations. I think what this whole journey also represents is that each one of us, every one of us, have a particular role to play in our homes, in our community, and in furthering our understanding of our faith within the world. And I think as all of us, as ambassadors of our faith, particularly, but also as representatives of people in this country and Yorkshire County Cricket Club as well, I think we all delivered that in the highest possible conduct and standards. And Brother Sadiq was very, very clear about our responsibilities in that respect. I think the last point I would say is that, to quote a very famous director from a film like The Godfather, which was Italian in its making, but in one of his interviews, Coppola, who was the director of the film, made a very interesting point that a man's reach should exceed his grasp. And that's a very important point. So I think what we have been able to achieve as a group of people in Mount far extends our collective reach. And that is a message for all our young people that, never settle for anything less than what you want. If you have dreams and if you have passion, you go for it.
Mr. Yusuf Shah, he's sounding like Sadiq Patel already. Subhanallah. Right. Anyway, Jazakallah, who's coming in for his last words.
Sorry, I promise this is the last one. I'd just like to figure that we participated as a charity when we went there. The charity was Yorkshire Down Syndrome.
Okay.
And we have having a get together on Tuesday, the 17th of November at Gaff's place. But this is only for the people who attended.
Right.
But we're still collecting money. So if anybody wants to give money to the Yorkshire Down Syndrome charity, can do so by either giving it to Al Mubarak or even giving it to one of the
Right. Can you
people.
explain also what donations are being collected? Because people always ask zakat.
No, this is will be just a general lilla donation.
Just lillah,
Yes.
so make that completely clear.
Yeah,
that
it's just a general lilla donation because obviously the Down syndrome group has a lot of people from a lot of faiths. But we are collecting, and we'll be collecting until 17th of November, inshallah.
Right. So 17th of November, and anybody wanting, you can either give it to Yusuf Baykat, or even if anybody gets in touch, I can pass you the number so they can
Inshallah.
give it directly
Yes.
to you. That way, it gets,
Inshallah,
the
I
money
will,
gets
I will just
quicker
give
as well.
my number as well.
Yeah.
It's 01924 422 666, and it's 292 Bradford Road.
Right. So on 292 Bradford Road, Hayat Tours, I'm sure as well, which is located on Bradford Road. Please, anybody wanting to give their money, then a donation towards the Down syndrome, please get in touch with Mr. Subaikat, and inshallah, lillah donations only. Right. Last words, Riaz by Mutara.
Right. Also, I like to say thank you very much to Vatican people. They give us a lot of respect and they look after us really well. So thanks a lot to them. And also thank you very much to you as well, Al
No
Mubarak.
problem.
for having us.
Anytime. All the very, very best for your future, as well as the cricket team and your personal as well life as well. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Right. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's all we do have time for. Anybody wants to view this as well again, then inshallah the video will be up on YouTube very, very shortly as we go off air. A big jazakallah to Mount Cricket Club. I'm sure you can view their trophies here as well, and I'm sure they'll be taking a few more pictures once we do go off air. Brothers and sisters, that was Mount Cricket Club, their journey, their experience to the Vatican in Rome. It's a journey for mostly all cricketers probably dream of. They have fulfilled a dream. And like one of the brothers has mentioned and said, if you live the dream, believe in yourself, fulfill that dream, make efforts, and keep going, keep listening, inshallah. Again, we'll be live tomorrow morning, so inshallah about 10:30 a.m. If you are tuning in, listen on the app or the website www.almubarakradio.com. All we have to remember at the end of the day, we are only travelers of this world, and our destination is the grave. You have been listening to Al Mubarak Radio with myself and Mr. Al Mubarak. Until the next time, tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Join me on the morning live show. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fi amanillah.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care of yourself.
No problem.